Good morning, everyone. Sorry, there was some technical issue. I'm still trying to figure out troubleshooting, so I think we can start now, right? A recap of yesterday, right? We started off with the UPSC parameters. We wrote a few hooks. We covered about brainstorming first, how to do effective brainstorming. We just did one part of that, and then onwards we went on to the introduction part. In the introduction, we have three parts. We covered the hook, writing various types of hooks yesterday, and also the funnel very briefly. And today we are going to begin with a very important part of essay, often ignored a part of essay, what is called as the thesis statement. Okay, so that will be the starting point for today. Okay, and we will begin with the thesis statement. All right, so let's begin. Now, I have been telling you in various baseline tests that I saw yesterday and day before yesterday. Many of you forgot to write a thesis statement. Some of you wrote the thesis statement, but that thesis statement lacked the core argument or the main point of view of the author. I'll come to that in a bit. Now, most of you, what you guys wrote is like in the baseline test that I saw yesterday and day before yesterday was in this essay. We are going to see why knowledge will speak, why wisdom will listen. Then we will see why wisdom will speak and knowledge will listen. At the end, we are going to see that both knowledge will also speak, wisdom will also speak, both knowledge will also listen, and wisdom will also listen. And that is something like this scene from Three Idiots, where you are just going on writing what you are going to do in the essay. You're going to tell the examiner what are your major dimensions of the essay that you're going to do. Now, that doesn't make much sense per se, because anyways, examiner is going to read your essay and going to figure out. You're sort of giving a index of the essay, purpose of the essay. Yes, that is a valid point of the thesis statement. That's how a thesis is supposed to written. Thesis contains two parts. We'll come to that in a bit, all the parts. The first is the most important, the core argument, along with the viewpoint of the author. Author means you people. Remember, you are all authors for your essays. And then is what I said, the purpose of the essay. Why are you writing the essay? In this essay, what are we going to see? Knowledge speaks, wisdom listen, or how patriarchy is least noticed and most significant structure. And next, or in the other topic we saw, right? The contentment and anything. So that is called as the purpose of the essay, what I just told. Now, thesis, the core argument is like the heart of the essay. Heart. Whereas the purpose of the essay, which I just saw in this essay, we'll see why knowledge speaks, wisdom listens, blah blah blah. That is like the appendix. You all understand appendix in the human body? It is a vestigial organ. That means if you have appendix, good. If you don't have appendix, good. It makes no difference to human body. What about heart? Heart is needed, right? You are alive because of your heart. So many people focus on the appendix and ignore the heart. And that's where your introductions become substandard, and that's where you lose out. In many of the essays that I saw previously in the past 2 days, many of you have focused on the appendix and not the heart. And some of you, there is no either appendix nor heart. There is just one paragraph of introduction. But when you write the core argument, expressing your viewpoint, the examiner will be like this. Like without, he is very confused. What exactly you want to convey? Because core argument conveys your viewpoint. Just by reading the purpose of the essay, you have written everything that you are going to write in the body. Examiner is actually confused. What is your viewpoint? Now, especially for an argumentative type of essay, because you are going to take both dimensions. Let's say patriarchy, or we'll go with artificial intelligence that we saw yesterday. Now, artificial intelligence, you may say it results in growth, economic opportunities, or then you may take the counter argument that it will result in job losses as well. Fair enough. But if I exactly want to know what is your actual opinion, because in the body you have taken both aspects. What is your actual opinion on the topic? What do you feel about the topic? Do you agree with the topic? Do you disagree with the topic? Or you're neutral? You can be anything. You can agree, you can disagree, you can be neutral, or partially agree, partially disagree. That's where you express it in the core argument. After that part, the examiner will not have this confusion, like what exactly do you want to convey, man? So 1 or 2 paragraphs of hook, third paragraph, first line should be the funnel for a philosophical topic, which is little complicated to understand. If it is very simple, directly start with the core argument. Now let us come to exactly what does your thesis statement contains. These are the 3 parts, or first and 2 are almost same. Okay, first and 2 are almost same. The core argument or main argument of the essay, like as I was telling in the day before class, like when you solve your CSAT questions, right? Some of the questions and relatively easier ones in your passages are identify the main point of view of the author, identify the core argument of the author, nothing but this only. They are asking you to identify that. What is the author's opinion on the topic? Okay, point of view of the author, core argument, both are same. Slight difference, but for UPSC essays, we can just assume them as same and practice writing. And then the purpose of the essay. Why are we writing the essay? What do we understand by various aspects of the essay? What dimensions that we are going to take? Now, the core argument and a point of view has to be written compulsorily. The first 2 things are compulsory. Point of view and core argument are compulsory, whereas the purpose of the essay is optional. I've told you, the first 2 are the heart, next is the appendix, right? So, first 2 has to be written compulsorily. The next one is an optional one. You can choose to write it, not write it, doesn't make a difference. That's why I told you it's a vestigial part of the essay. What some people do is, for one essay they will write, for one more essay they are going to skip. Section A if they write, they will not write for section B. The purpose of the essay I am talking. The first aspects have to be written in both essays, just to bring about distinctness. In one essay they will write the purpose of the essay, in another essay they are going to skip it. We'll come to that. First, let's talk about the heart of the essay, the core argument or the purpose of the essay. Pay attention, then I am going to dictate to you people how you have to write, and then we'll do the exercises for core argument as well. All right. So let me tell you what exactly is the main argument, point of view of the author, core argument. Simply put, it is your opinion with respect to the topic given. Any topic that is given, philosophical, technical, does not matter. Your opinion with respect to the topic, it is the core argument, main argument or point of view of the author. Now, remember here, opinions can be subjective. Now, for me, I may tell that contentment is okay, contentment is needed. He may disagree. He may say, no, we have to be little bit of materialistic. Because we all are different individuals, having different preferences,
different opinions, different ideas, and different upbringings. Opinions will vary. But when you express your actual opinion with respect to the given topic, it becomes the main argument, your point of view. But the thing here is, you are writing a UPSC essay. In general essay, you can take one stand. But if you are writing civil services essays, it is always suggested that you take a balanced stand, balanced opinion, balanced stand per se. Why? Because two things. Balance is always appreciated by UPSC. And the second thing, automatically it will increase dimensions that you can take in the body. If you just take one stand, you have to just elaborate one thing only. If you take a balanced stand, obviously, automatically there are 2 or 3 dimensions that are generated in the body. Right? Next, you cannot give any sort of examples, facts, statistics. Pay attention, then I will dictate. Okay, this is important. First, pay attention, then I will dictate to you. No examples, no facts, no statistics, no substantiation. You are just giving your view, your opinion in simple and effective language. As simple as that. No need of substantiation. No need to quote any authors, thinkers, reports, nothing. It should be your own point of view. Even if you are quoting somebody, remove their name, quote it like your own point of view. Especially if it is a technical essay, you have added some nice dialogue or some opinion on artificial intelligence. Just take out it, paraphrase it, and present it as your opinion. So it should be your own opinion. No substantiation is needed here, no example, no facts, no statistics, nothing. That comes in the body. Here it should be just opinion. First is balanced. Next, does not require any substantiation. Most importantly, it should be your own. And next, it should have clarity. Like the purpose of the core argument here is to give clarity about your stand on the topic. So it should have clarity on the given topic. Clarity on the given topic. And next thing, not just one part of the essay. Like if essay topic is big, not just the first half or the second half, but entirety of the essay. Whole topic, whole essay topic, you have to give an opinion. And one common mistake that people do while writing core argument is, especially for philosophical essays, they'll just write the topic in a different paraphrased way. Knowledge speaks, wisdom listens. They'll say, when we see wisdom and knowledge and its relations, at times wisdom speaks and knowledge listens. And wisdom and vice versa, you will just add. That's not opinion, that's paraphrasing of the topic. So the core argument should clearly convey your opinion, and you should not paraphrase the topic per se. When you paraphrase the topic, it becomes little difficult. It becomes little difficult for the examiner to understand that you have written the core argument. And a core argument should be clearly outlined. As I told you, second or third paragraph. Okay, if you have written 2 paragraphs of hook, third paragraph should begin with the one line of funnel and followed by the core argument. If you have just written 1 paragraph of hook, then second paragraph should be containing your core argument. Do not merge it with hook. Do not write it somewhere else in the essay. Introduction should end with your thesis statement. Right? And ensure that you are having clarity about the core argument. If you can just go back to the brainstorming sheet, okay, where we did the brainstorming part, okay, can you just go back, and at the last point of brainstorming, I have given you a draft idea of core argument or a draft core argument. So we will begin of how do you come to writing a draft core argument first, and then we will further go to the exercises. Now, let's say brainstorming is all done. Your introduction is decided, your major dimensions of the body are decided, and your conclusion is decided. Once everything is decided, you know what you're going to write in the essay. Then you should start crafting a draft core argument, which you note down. Okay, which you note down and start drafting a rough core argument. You don't have to be very detailed. Major things that you convey in your core argument. As simple as that. You should do this before you actually start writing an essay in the brainstorming sheet. You don't have to write the entire core argument, at least the key components, what you are going to try and convey. Right. So remember here, the brainstorming itself should take care of a draft core argument, because that is when you are fresh with ideas. You have just written all the major dimensions that you are going to take in the body, and you are going with fresh with ideas, and you have very nicely written ideas. Because what happens after writing hook, if you go back again, then think what should I write for core argument, it will take more time. Because after brainstorming, your brain knows that, okay, this is going to be broad dimensions of my essay. Write a draft core argument and just move on. So that it will help you save time. After writing hook, coming back, then glancing through the brainstorming sheet, okay, what should I write core argument, takes too much time. At least make a rough draft, go, and then when you write actually in the booklet, you can polish it, fine tune it. You can do that. That will not take much time. Right? So your core argument should be determined. Okay, you should be determined while brainstorming itself, and it should be, again I am repeating, balanced or unbalanced, as balanced as possible. Should you quote any facts, examples, statistics? No. Next, should you quote any authors, thinkers? No. But even if you are quoting, you should claim it as your own. Should it contain your opinion about the topic? Yes. As balanced opinion as possible. And you can write it for 4 to 5 lines. Okay, 1 to 2 lines of your funnel, 4 to 5 lines of your core argument. Initially, you will write little bit more. Okay, don't worry about that. The tendency is when you start writing a core argument, you may end up writing a little bit more, right? How to deal with that, we will see. Initially, I will not put any restrictions. Try to restrict it to 4 to 5 lines, core argument. Still, if you cannot, it's okay. You can go a little more also. And we will see how to, further fine tune it. If you're writing more, I don't have a problem initially, because automatically that will be taken care later on. But if you're writing less, little bit of push is needed. Okay, just to recap, the thesis statement should contain 2 things. One is the core argument and the author's viewpoint on the given topic. Next, the purpose of the essay. Which is the compulsory one? Core argument and the viewpoint is compulsory. Purpose of the essay is optional. You can write it, you can not write it when it comes to a civil services essay. Okay, ideally you can write for one essay and you can skip for other essay to have a distinctiveness in your essay writing style. Right? And just take down the dictation, and then we will do with the exercises. Core argument should contain the following. Core argument should contain the following. First point.
your view or opinion, your view or opinion on the given topic. Your view or opinion on the given topic. Next point. It should be your own view. It should be your own view. Next point. Do not cite any examples or statistics. Do not cite any examples or statistics or any sort of substantiation or any sort of substantiation. Next point. It should be as balanced and as holistic as possible. It should be as balanced and as holistic as possible. Next point. 4 to 5 lines. 4 to 5 lines should be an ideal length. 4 to 5 lines should be an ideal length. Next, main point. The thesis of the essay contains main point. The thesis of the essay contains first point, core or main argument, and the point of view, merge it, and the point of view of the author. And the point of view of the author. Next point. Purpose of the essay. Purpose of the essay. Now, for core argument and point of view of the author, take down in bracket, to be written compulsorily. Underline it and take down, to be written compulsorily. And for the purpose of the essay, optional. And even if written, optional, and even if written, has to be very, very brief. Even if written, has to be very, very brief. Do not spend too much words or space writing the purpose of the essay. Last point, main point. Draft a rough core argument at the end of brainstorming. Draft a rough core argument at the end of brainstorming. And ensure it reflects your opinion. This is like a check. This is like a check for a core argument. As long as it's reflecting your opinion, it is a decent enough core argument. And ensure it reflects your opinion. Okay, underline, ensure it reflects your opinion. Always, you should, after you drafted it at the end of brainstorming, just see if your opinion is reflected on the topic. This is for both philosophical essay as well as technical essay. Next point. avoid restating the given topic or paraphrasing it. Avoid restating the core argument and paraphrasing it. So avoid restating the given topic or paraphrasing it. Very simple. Right? Now, Indians by nature are very judgmental people. Judgments are formed by opinions. So I think on any topic you will have opinions. Just ensure that whatever the opinion you are presenting it in a balanced way and you will write a core argument. Try to be as impactful as possible, and you should be fine when it comes to the core argument. But at no cost, I want you to write. So when you give your core argument and present your view on the topic, the examiner will be like this. Okay, क्या बात है, right? Because he is clear now. He is clear in what exactly is your opinion on the topic. Though you may take different arguments, counter argument, and analysis in the body. What is your personal opinion on the topic? It is given, it is quite outlined, and that marks the end of introduction. Okay, when you are done with the thesis statement, that marks the end of introduction. Alright, time for class exercises. It's time for you guys to make me feel this way. Let's see how many of you make me feel this way. Anytime I read a very good core argument, I am going to say, kya baat hai, right? So, online students, offline students, we'll use the same three topics, okay? We'll start with a very simple one. Remember, no paraphrasing, okay? Nothing doing, okay? So, give your opinion on the topic as balanced as possible, as holistic. Before you can start writing, just go through the parameters I just gave you so that you internalize them. So, go through the parameters and then start drafting. I think for first one I'll give you 4 minutes. I think it's little too much actually, but since it's the first one, I'll give you 4 minutes and we'll start reducing the time from next one onwards. Right? So just think what you feel about the topic, right? And knowledge speak, but wisdom listen. Yeah. Just meaning. Funnel is the meaning, whereas the core argument is your opinion on that topic. Okay. Nothing. Just put a full stop and start with the core argument. Alright, if you're done, do start sending me your core arguments. And let's see how many of you make me see. Say क्या बात है. Alright, the first one. Wisdom is something which is more comprehensive than knowledge. Knowledge teaches you to do something, while it is the wisdom that explains that why something should be done or not. Very good core argument. क्या बात है? Okay, good job. In this essay, we will discuss how wisdom overcomes knowledge and helps in taking fair decision, and how knowledge and wisdom are interconnected to each other. I have told you this is the purpose of the essay. This is not a core argument. So kindly write the core argument, not the purpose of the essay. When we look at various walks of life, we can observe that most cases one can do fine just using knowledge. But when it comes to bigger decision making, it is always wisdom that has had an upper hand, supplemented with knowledge. Now, this is a fair core argument, but if you can see here, this person has told when it comes to most cases, one can do fine just in knowledge, but when it comes to bigger decision making. So the problem here is, he has brought in the aspect of decision making. So when you are talking about decision making, this narrows down the entire essay topic to decision making. So I told you it has to be as holistic as possible, as broad as possible. So making it for one dimension of decision making, it's a core argument, but it will be very narrow. Okay, it has to be more broader. Okay. Knowledge gives power of analysis. It makes us to have scientific and holistic approach. But wisdom provides wiseness and how to act and way to act. Thus, when knowledge combines with wisdom, gives one pragmatic approach. Much more broader than the previous core argument that we read, but again little narrow, because you have again narrowed it down to wiseness and a pragmatic approach. Keep it little bit more broader. We can say that both knowledge and wisdom complement each other, as can be expressed. Knowledge in addition to wisdom helps in character building. So the first half is fine, broad enough, but second half again narrowed down to character building, has to be more broad. It means acquired knowledge helps the person to express what he or she has learned, but wisdom gained to experiences transform the person to listen. Wisdom helps in application of knowledge for the use of humankind. Broad enough, but could have been written like first half of the core argument seemed like a restatement or paraphrasing of the topic itself. Second half is fine. Knowledge and wisdom, though look similar, do have some differences. Knowledge at the end of the day is just a subset of wisdom. That said, will listening only always works? The first half is very good. The second half, again, it narrows down to just listening the part. But here, it is about knowledge and wisdom. Listening part, like you just mentioned, it is a subset of the topic, right? So you could have chosen a little better. The last sentence could have been a little better. Wisdom is the core of acquiring knowledge. Both cannot be seen as standalone different entities. Even both are same, with wisdom having an extra element to knowledge, to acknowledge the knowledge others might possess. Very confusing. Okay, there is no clarity here. So ensure that there is always clarity in your core argument. Here there is no clarity, because I am still not confused what you want to convey. Right? Others right? Don't use ambiguous words like others or extra element. What is that extra element? So be very clear, very crisp. One who is knowledgeable is often tempted to showcase it to the world to prove their skills. However, the one is wise shall be patient and has the adequate self realization to understand multiple perspectives and views and think comprehensively. Good core argument. Okay. क्या बात है? Okay. Again, I read it again. One who is knowledgeable is often tempted to showcase it to the world to prove their skills. However, the one who is wise shall be patient and has adequate self-realization to understand the multiple perspectives and views and think comprehensively. Very, very nicely written. Good job. Couple more. Knowledge is about acquiring information and facts, while wisdom is about applying that knowledge thoughtfully and being open to others' perspectives. It emphasizes the importance of patience, active listening as key components of wise behavior. Again, well written. Okay, क्या बात है? Next, last one from online students. Knowledge provides us understanding and capability to put our thoughts and viewpoints. Knowledge makes our unrefined viewpoints into comprehensible matter. At the same time, the person who has wisdom along with knowledge, he or she starts to listen to others and itself enhances his or her knowledge. Wisdom provides us capacity to understand others also. It is over elaborated a bit, could be written a little more concisely. Okay, so again, clarity is lacking here. While knowledge helps us to convey the ideas and information, whereas wisdom helps us to understand the complex issues, wisdom also helps us to have deeper interaction. Has to be more holistic. I'll read a couple from the class here. Few of pass over. What is this? Somebody is passing around it. Knowledge is like a river and wisdom is like an ocean. Knowledge is just one of the components that flows in the ocean of wisdom. Analogies are again not suggested because your viewpoint is missing here. But if you are just comparing knowledge to wisdom, it is fair. You can use this in the body. Okay, you can use this in the body. Knowledge not only speaks but also listens. As knowledge speaks, wisdom enhances itself. In that enhancement, when wisdom speaks, knowledge also listens. What I told you precisely not to do, okay, you have done it. There are instances where neither knowledge nor wisdom speak, thinking knowledgeable as wise and wise as knowledgeable. कहना क्या चाहते हो? Right, it's unclear. Has to be a little better. In the contemporary world, most of the people tend to speak more, even with a limited knowledge. But a wise person has emotional intelligence to apply his knowledge when and where needed. Narrowed down to emotional intelligence. So it has to be more holistic. Otherwise, it will seem this will be a good dimension in the body. This will be a good dimension in the body, but not in the. It will not serve as a good core argument. Knowledge is external, whereas wisdom is internalized. The knowledge is gained by various methods such as education and from surrounding environment, whereas wisdom is gained through life experiences and insightfulness of those experiences. Knowledge and wisdom are both important to sail through the journey of life. See, I don't want to know how knowledge is gained or wisdom is gained. Your opinion is not clearly outlined. Opinion on the topic has to be clearly outlined. Prudence lies in keen observation and application rather than proving a known fact. And for problem solving, wisdom will be our reserve than knowledge. The knowledge is needed, it is wisdom which makes the work done. See, you are introducing a new aspect, prudence. Again, could be better in the body. Okay, core argument, you should stick to the topic directly, stick to knowledge and wisdom, and your opinion is decent enough, but could be, you can write it little more neatly. Knowledge is knowing that you know something, but wisdom is accepting that you know nothing. Wisdom is superior to knowledge and is a lifelong process. क्या बात है? Very nicely written. Okay, I'll read it again. Knowledge is knowing that you know something, but wisdom is accepting that you know nothing. Wisdom is superior to knowledge and is a lifelong process. Very nicely written. Yeah. Few more and then we'll start with the next exercise where the time will be little lesser. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge is about being well aware. On the other hand, wisdom is being wise. Both knowledge and wisdom, in general terms, sounds. I'm not understand. Sounds same. Okay. Both knowledge and wisdom, in a general terms, sound same, but both are different when analyzed deeply. So, could be a good dimension in the body as an analytical dimension, but not a good enough core argument. Wisdom is an experience one gets by his or her experiments throughout his life, and knowledge is systematically acquired by professional way. Both will have create profound and great personalities. Opinion is missing. You're telling me how to acquire knowledge, how to acquire wisdom, but where is your opinion on the topic? Knowledge and wisdom are like the sides of coins, or better to write, knowledge and wisdom are like two faces of the same coin. Okay, wisdom is the value which one possesses, but knowledge is an acquired one. With both knowledge and wisdom makes a person more valuable. Without either, can be of no value. Could have expressed in better ways. I like your opinion on the topic, but expression has not come out clear. See, essays, as I told you yesterday, it is always about expression. Idea is very right. Idea is very right in this core argument that is written by this person, but the expression does not come out very well. Last one, knowledge and wisdom are like two faces of the coin. You are sitting next to each other, huh? Both of you. Huh? Knowledge and wisdom are like two faces of the coin. Knowledge without wisdom is like a broken pot; it cannot hold water, and wisdom without knowledge leads nowhere. Though there are some analogies, but I find these analogies to be very relevant, right? So decent enough core argument. One improvement here is opinion can be more outlined. Though I understand your opinion that you are giving, more clearly outlined. Okay, so good job. All right, so you are getting a hang of it. We will do for one technical topic now. Okay, the patriarchy one. Okay, I think 3 minutes are sufficient because nobody likes patriarchy. So 3 minutes should be sufficient. Yeah, before you can write for a topic like this, when you are taking a social issue, you cannot, for whatsoever reason, tell that patriarchy is needed in the society. Okay, so use your common sense, guys. Okay, there are some topics where you have to critique the topic. Alright, so critique the topic. Here, the only balanced stand, I'll just give a hint is least noticed. I'll just give a hint. Balanced stand is least noticed. Okay, that's where you can get a balanced stand with respect to the least noticed part. Let's see how you do that. Okay, take 3 minutes and craft a good core argument. Last 30 seconds, hurry up. Those who are done can start sending. I'll read out the ones which I'm getting. Others can keep writing, but try to stick to the time. Subjugation of women by men in the patriarchal system is antithetical to the idea of equality. This patriarchy impacts women more profoundly in every sphere of human life. See, he has spoken about inequality, but the least noticed part, I told you, you have to speak the entirety of the topic, not just one aspect of the topic, but entirety of the topic. So, least noticed, most noticed, not noticed, that part is silent on. Okay, so not a holistic core argument. Next, right from the birth, a girl child Right from the birth of a girl child, she is subjected to various forms of discriminations throughout her life. Yet, this has been normalized and internalized in our society so much that a dissenting voice of the system is seen as a critical and radicalizing one. Again, seen, least noticed. That part is not holistically addressed here. Okay. Otherwise, a decent core argument. Opinion is good. The state of patriarchy wasn't from a social norm of societal stigma. It has become the mud of the pot. It is one of the main steering wheels of social inequality. The social inequality is comprised of many drivers, whereas the elimination of the patriarchy is the need of the hour. The visibility part is slightly highlighted here, but again, still not a very holistic core argument. Ironically, it is our own patriarchal mindset that makes patriarchy least noticed. But even the subtle manifestation of patriarchy can't mask the social inequality which is for everyone to see. क्या बात है, right? So nicely, so concisely. Listen to it again. Ironically, it is our own patriarchal mindset that makes patriarchy least noticed. But even the subtle manifestations of patriarchy can't mask the social inequality which is for everyone to see. Well written. Patriarchy is deeply ingrained in our society that we fail to see it in the mindset of the activity. Yet, it affects men and women both, causing deep inequality in the society. Sort of strongly, but the inequality part will be more addressed. The visibility part is highlighted very aptly, but the inequality part can be addressed a little better. Patriarchy is still ubiquitous in the society because it has been projected as natural inequality rather than social inequality. Again, nicely written. Okay, because he highlights it, patriarchy is still ubiquitous in the society, and because it has been projected as a natural inequality rather than a social inequality. Again, a nice written core argument. Next, patriarchy has distributed power, wealth, and distinguished between man and woman unequally. This led to man's dominance over women, which caused grave social inequality. Seems better to use this in the body as an analytical dimension in the body rather than use it as a core argument. We consider women around us as someone with fixed roles within boundaries of our homes, so much that we inherently expect them to make all sacrifices. This distinction is not new, even the efforts to make changes are considered wrong. Again, this will be better to use as a dimension in the body rather than the core argument itself. Right? Patriarchy is known that it's dominating every field, but by knowing we are living like there is nothing that type of concept present in the system. That's by its increasing social inequality. Lacks coherence, can be much better structured. Few here I'll read in the class fast. I think that's enough. Others can, I'll have a look. As like the impact of child abuse go unnoticed in causing lifelong trauma, so in the patriarchy's role gone unnoticed in impending social inequality, impoverishing nearly half of human race as a class or group. It slightly narrows down the core argument to child abuse. Okay, has to be more holistic. Patriarchy is a social camouflage. It stays among us and around us. We are ill trained to detect and eliminate. It stays among us and corrodes the entire system. Again, not very holistic. Has to address the topic, the least noticed part, significant structure of social inequality. Though the ill-trained to detect among us and corrode the entire system does talk about that, but has to be more detailed. Okay, has to be more detailed. Decent enough. From times immemorial, humans have identified many values, and if they are oppressive, they have countered it. Patriarchy is one such value which has somehow sailed through all the obstacles that today it has ingrained so much that we categorize it as a normal thing. The second half of the core argument is good, okay, but the first half is not very much up to the mark. Next, patriarchy is the most powerful weapon used by men, often like a needle rather than a sword, to establish dominance, without making it obvious and without the woman realizing it. Good. क्या बात है? Again, I'll read. Patriarchy is the most powerful weapon used by men, often like a needle rather than a sword, to establish dominance, without making it obvious and without the woman realizing it. Very nicely written. Good job. Last couple. Patriarchy is ingrained and normalized in the society so much that it barely makes the most visible thing invisible. And this attitude is reinforcing the foundations of inequality in the society. So the inequality part has to be more detailedly written. The first half is good. Though there is inequality among the society, women have achieved the greater heights, ignoring the hurdles of the society. No, this can be a dimension in the body because it does not particularly address the topic per se. Patriarchy is a phenomena where society is dominated by male and runs according to the wishes of men. See, I don't need to know the definition of patriarchy. I need to know your opinion on the topic. Okay, don't define. No need of examples. No need of definitions. Patriarchy is present in all forms to the society, but it's visible in the form of social inequality. No, not a apt core argument. Patriarchy has deep roots in the society, making it an acceptable social norm for centuries. But its roots widens the inequality among different genders. It's necessary to support those few who have noticed it to reduce inequality caused by patriarchy. Not very impactful. Okay, lacks the impact the core argument should convey and fails to convey your opinion on the topic. And last one. Patriarchy is an invisible force. It is exploitative social arrangement designed by dominant class called males and manifests in a different form in the society. Decent enough. Could be more holistic and detailed, but decent enough core argument. Now, let's get your core arguments more structured before you do. Now you have a hang of expressing your opinions. Now I will teach you how to organize and express your opinions. Any topic that you are writing, philosophical or technical, while expressing your opinion, especially when you start giving a balanced opinion, right? Here I told you in this topic, least noticed, because obviously you cannot have a balanced opinion on the social construct of patriarchy, but least noticed. Sometimes it is least noticed, sometimes it is noticed or most noticed. in the previous one, knowledge speaks and wisdom listens. When you are going to the balanced side, if you want to give a other point of view, you want to achieve balance, start using the counter word. We'll study more about this in the body, but even in the core argument, start using a word which will clearly outline to the examiner that you are taking the balance stand. Now, what are those certain words? However, but, contrarily, however, but, contrarily. Anything on these lines? There are n number of synonyms. So that will make your core arguments more balanced. So what I am seeing is you are lacking balance. So write the first half of the core argument, first two lines. Just when you are about to go to the other side, from knowledge speaks to wisdom listens, knowledge is also important. However, okay, patriarchy is least noticed. It has become deeply ingrained in the society that acceptance has made it invisible. However, recent developments, we are noticing patriarchy, not only noticing it, taking steps to annihilate it. Clearly. So these words has to be written. However, put a comma and then start writing the other side of the core argument to achieve balance. So far you are writing core arguments, but to write a more balanced, more holistic, because most of the core arguments which I read was not holistic in nature. However, but, contrary. Generally people use however and but, most common. Clear? Sorry? No, we are not talking about counter argument. We are still talking about core argument here. Okay, we are trying to learn how to write a balanced core argument, because I have told you core argument should be as balanced as possible. And for topics containing social issues, use your common sense to determine where to balance it. Don't balance patriarchy itself. Patriarchy is least noticed, but sometimes we need patriarchy. Do not do this kind of mistakes, blunder. Technical topics, you have to use little common sense, whereas philosophical topics, generally, okay, you have to sort of directly put however and write the contrary opinion. And also remember, there will be certain topics which will be, cannot be opposed, has to be supported. This was one small search here, but this part you can still balance it out. Like for example, there was a topic few years back, courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys to success. Talks the truth only, courage to accept, dedication to improve are the two keys to success. Only thing you can further balance it out is by, no, there are not just two keys, there are other keys also are there. So you need to figure out where do you generate the balanced statement from. Just for the sake of writing, do not oppose something that is a universal truth or a universal fact or commonly accepted fact. Do not bring in unpopular opinions just for the sake of achieving balance. Okay, so take on these following tips. To achieve balance, take on subheading, to achieve balance in core argument. To achieve balance in core argument. First point. Give your opinion on the topic. Give your opinion on the topic. Next point. Giving balanced or counter opinion giving balanced or counter opinion should begin with words like however, but, contrarily, etc. However, but, contrarily, etc. Next point. Next point. Do not counter or balance out. Do not counter or balance out commonly accepted truths. Commonly accepted truths or support unpopular opinions and social evils. Unpopular opinions and social evils. Now go through this. First, go through the first section which I gave as a dictation, core argument. Now to achieve balance, and then we will do a cross exercise because this is very important. Core argument is little hard to write, okay, and it has to be very impactful because this is the heart of the essay. And try and write 4 to 5 lines, not more. Okay. And if you are writing just one line, write at least 4 to 5 lines. Most of you are perfectly writing for 4 to 5 lines, but now more structured. Okay. So your opinion. See, one thing that so far, whatever the arguments that we read, opinion was lacking in some of them. Now clear, balanced opinion should be there. Okay. So we'll do. I'll again give you 4 minutes for this, but I want a clear, balanced opinion. Very, very perfectly written, clear, and a very balanced opinion. I want that. Okay. So we will do with this one. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Take 4 minutes. Balanced. I want it balanced perfectly. Okay, I want to see those words. I'll start reading. There is just 30 seconds left. Whatever I receive, I'll start reading. When a person ceases to have unnecessary desires or wants, he or she becomes self-content, and the world becomes a happy place belonging to him. However, we also need the inner drive in us so that we can achieve great milestones in life. Very, very lucidly put. क्या बात है? Okay, good job. One who is knowledgeable is often tempted to showcase it to the world. Okay, this is the previous one. The self introspection in an individual makes him realize that he possesses everything and must lead a life of contentment. However, an ambition and passion for growth is necessary for self improvement and to unlock one's highest potential. Again, क्या बात है? तू क्या बात है in rows? Okay, good. Let's see if we can make it 3. Life is defined by scarcity of resources. However, it is us who can make the best out of everything. The key to success lies in utilizing everything that you have and not complaining about what you don't. A little bit more balanced here, okay, between the first half and the second half. First half is very short. Contentment and accepting what we have, doing away with desire, we can achieve greatest of happiness, knowledge and success. But it is the desire of wanting for more which foster innovation. Good enough. Okay, क्या बात है again? Good. The desires are unending and a sense of deprivation in most common among humans. When our focus shifts to deprivation, our action gets restricted in want of having perfect situations and capabilities. When we realize we lack nothing, we must get focused on action orientation to achieve what we want. However, sometimes the realization of our own limitations also guides us to improvements. It's a decent enough core argument, but balance is not there between first half and second half, and it is little over elaborated. It has to be written little concisely. The sense of contentment and acceptance of situation takes one to a greater height where things can be seen more holistically. Self-belief it provides makes one to conquer the world. However, though necessary, it is not a sufficient condition for success. So this will narrow down the core argument to success, right? And it generally does not highlight the topic given in a much more detailed way. So can be a more holistic and balanced core argument. Self realization is the crux of life. However, it should lead you to the plethora of opportunities. It becomes easy to work towards the purpose of life, but not towards knowing the purpose of life. It can be more clearly outlined here as well. A realization of contentment makes us live more satisfied and uncomplained life. However, we also need to have aspirations for self-growth and the growth of the society. Utilizing our wisdom can balance when to content and when to aspire. क्या बात है? He used the previous topic, wisdom, just one aspect. So I'll read it again. Okay, you can be very innovative like this. Realization of contentment makes us live more satisfied and uncomplained life. However, we also need to have aspirations for self-growth and growth of the society. Utilizing our wisdom can balance when to content and when to aspire. Use wisdom, use the word of balance, and you balance the core argument very beautifully. Good job. Okay, one of the better ones we have studied today. Contentment is the state of inner calm, having satisfactions with own belongings. It gives you mindfulness to face any adversity. At the same time, realizes one's capabilities. Good enough, but balance is missing here. Okay, start with however, but okay, contrarily, and balance is missing. The world out there is for us to explore. However, it is our mindset that stops us from reaching our full potential. See, it does not talk about contentment or even acceptance, right? So this major theme here is contentment and acceptance here. Okay, acceptance of what we are. So that does not talk about it. So it has to speak about the major theme here. When one becomes self-aware of his or her capabilities, he or she will get to know nothing is an obstacle, barrier in his her path, and she can easily sail through. However, if one uses wrong means to achieve wrong ends, then the world is enough to destroy him or her. So the first half was very related to the topic. The second half, it's not exactly a balanced statement. It should come in the body, not in the core argument. You have to balance out the first one. You have to give the contrary opinion to the first half of what you have done. If the person sort of his negative side of thinking and thinking about the inner voice positively, then he's like, who is going to stop me from achieving? Then the whole world start accepting your presence. No, more balanced, needs more holistic, it has to be more holistically written. Okay, so we will do one more. Oh my god. This book I have done before, so this also I have done. Let's take this now. Yeah. Alright, we'll do this. Anyways, if people are here only, you can show it to me after the class also. This world is full of opportunities. We can achieve anything or rise to any heights. However, opportunity alone cannot take us to different levels. It is the willing to use this opportunity with good values that leads us through. Not balanced. Okay, balance is missing. Right, I told you balance. Balance is key here. Naturally, every person has potential to realize their knowledge and power, but sometimes by virtue of lack of self-introspection and ignorance, they lack potential to realize their value. Good enough. Okay, balance is there. A tad bit short, but good enough. It takes a seasoned mind to transcend the realm of adversities to win the world. However, a slight shift in attitude would make one realize that the world belongs to you anyway, whether or not you lack anything, for the world to live within, for the world lies within and not without. The last line is little unclear, otherwise relatively a good core argument. When there is no feeling in ourselves about the thing we do not have, we find ways to solve all the challenges. We can achieve whatever we admire on the contrary, without lacking feeling, we do not desire to come out of comfort zone. What feeling are you talking about? You have to be more clear about which feeling you're talking about. It has to be very clear. If you think that you need a little more than what you have at present, then nothing in the whole world can make you content. But if you're satisfied with whatever you have, then you feel nothing is lacking and even help others with the feeling that the whole world belongs to us. It's a decent enough core argument, but seems more like a paraphrase of the topic that is given. You just split it, okay, and paraphrased in different words. So decent enough. Okay, you are improving. All right. So we'll have a look further. Okay, just pass it. Now the next exercise will be for the entire introduction. So we're going to write hook, funnel, thesis, and we're going to write it in a short time. Okay. I will give you exactly 10 minutes. Okay, exactly 10 minutes. We'll write for one philosophical essay first, discuss that, and then we are going to write for one technical essay, discuss that. Okay, and just a few discussions. I will not be able to read more because that's the entire introduction. Few of the ones which I feel are good, and few of the ones which I can point out some improvements. I'll read them out, and 10 minutes for each. And then we will move on to the body part. Okay, and we'll take an entirely different topic. One, we'll start with the philosophical one. we'll take the last year's topic. One of my favorite topics because this had given in last year's essay tests and this was repeated in the actual exam. Not last. All those who wander are not lost. 10 minutes. Hook, funnel, and core argument has to be written. Time starts now. Okay. If anybody is done little early, start sharing that. Okay. Online or offline. Go ahead and write as impactful hook as possible and as impactful core argument. Okay. If you get a kya baat hai for this one, then you are really catching up the pace of essay edge course. Okay, so you will judge for the entire introduction.
Last 5 minutes. Hurry up. Come on. Last 2. Hurry up. All right, I'll read 3 from online and 3 from offline because it will be quite this thing, which I find wants to be good. Or this finish soon. Okay. A 41-year-old cricketer made his debut in the IPL. In one of his match, he got a hat trick, and eventually in the whole season, he became one of the top contender for the purple cap. That is award given for taking highest wickets. He is none other than Praveen Tambe, who wandered for 30 years in his life to finally achieve what he was destined for. That explains that all those who wander are not lost. This essay explains the importance of exploring our life to find our true self. When we explore out of our comfort zone, we find out that what is our purpose in life. However, it is also important that we take a note of our progress, and this should not become a directionless journey. The hook part is decent enough, but little over elaborated, could be little cut short. Whereas the core argument is good. Okay, the funnel and the core argument is nicely written in a balanced way. Good job. Imagine a journey from India to Pakistan, then through difficult terrain of Central Asia, accessing all of the mountains and deserts to reach Germany. Then again journeying towards Japan, Southeast Asia and many more regions to achieve an aim. This was the journey route of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and the aim was simple: to achieve liberation. He wandered through the difficult terrains, facing indignation and failures in his pain, but not to be in the losing cause. Immediate success was flag hosting at Manipur and establishing first free government of India, and perpetual success was on the collective psyche of the people of India. It takes a mental and physical toll on a person who wants to achieve something. In this journey, there will be a lot of hurdles, lot of wandering that one has to overcome. See, the hook is fine, but the core argument is not up to the mark. The hook has to be more concisely written, it is over elaborated, and the core argument is not clearly outlined. One last one from online students. Rahul, a 20-year-old and old avid traveler and enthusiastic backpacker, often finds himself in new countries and regions with new people and their distinct and unique cultures. His parents often worry that their ward lacks stability and certainty in his life. However, Rahul's journey is not that of a wanderlust individual who lacks clarity about his future and is thus mindlessly searching for something to hold on to. He is rather taking the road less taken to build a life of his dream. The above story highlights the stereotyping and stigmatizing of those who follow a distinct path. One who does not follow the path of mainstream often finds himself subject to the judgments of society, inhibiting his journey of self-exploration and self-realization. However, sometimes it is necessary to learn from others' mistakes and ensure that we are not directionless. Now, the hook part in this, it's about a fictional character of Rahul. You can actually, since you are the author, you can start with a fictional story, okay, and it is well put. So if you start with the fictional story, ensure that you well put, okay, and the core argument is good, okay. It can be little concise here. The core argument became little too big, okay. The funnel and the core argument is good, okay. Keep it up, right. So we'll read 3 from offline. 1, 2, and 3, and then we will write one for the technical essay. An old-aged man, 72 years, from West Bengal, traveled to USA alone, faced many hardships during traveling, even when he twice had mild heart attack. Despite the hardships, he managed to reach USA. After reaching USA, old man, by teaching spirituality, Krishna consciousness, he successfully transformed many individuals who were habituated with intoxication and drugs. Then he successfully established ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Currently, there are 108 ISKCON temples across all continents, teaching the principles of spirituality, peace, self-development, etc. The old man is none other than Sri Prabhupada. Now, this is a very apt hook, but where is the wandering path? Okay, so wandering path has to be a little bit more highlighted. This seems more like a person going through a tough journey, overcoming obstacles, right? So wandering part has to be more clearly highlighted. The above situation illustrates that even at the age of 72, Prabhupada successfully transformed millions of individuals to bring positive change in their life. This shows the importance of tackling challenges, overcoming the adverse situations without being idle. So it conveys to the examiner that you are clearly talking about challenges and overcoming challenges, not about wandering and or not getting lost or finding a purpose, that is not talk. Okay, so not a very apt hook. In the novel Into the Wild, the protagonist, who was seen as a prodigy, burns all his money and identification documents and seeks out on a lonely journey to Alaska. He is awestruck by the rawness and sheer vastness of the beauty of nature. Initially, he enjoyed his own company, but as seasons passed, surviving harsh winters became intolerable. Finally, when he was dying alone in Alaska, he realized that happiness is real only when it is shared, and repents for quitting on society. Wanderers are risk takers, they push human limits and imagination. Society may see them as deviants, but they took the road less traveled. So the hook part is decent, but the core argument part is not balanced. Okay, not balanced at all. Last one here. A man once took off into the vast ocean with a hope to find a new place and quench his thirst of exploration. The man was Christopher Columbus. Cliche. Okay, super cliche this is. The man was Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, Ferdinand Magellan, all are cliches for this particular topic. Okay, so the man was Christopher Columbus. Even though he failed to reach the intended destination, that is India, he found out a new place which also marked a significant moment in the history. What is the significant moment? You should tell now. Discovery of America, right? Then all the people who actually roam aimlessly are actually not lost. Don't use actually too much. Okay, you are not watching the sitcom. Okay, all the people who are actually roam aimlessly are not lost, but they are also in the path to success in a different route. Sometimes people believe that people who just wander are just wasting their precious time and they are not going to achieve anything in life. However, it's not true. In all cases, sometimes there are people who wander who achieve a lot more than who just sit and think what to do. Good enough core argument, right? So good job, you're improving. Now let's see how you do for a technical essay. Okay, so the topic will take the one which I gave as a class assignment yesterday. Technology cannot replace manpower. This is a PYQ actually. Both are PYQs. This is I think 2015 wala. 2015 or 14. Manpower. So 10 minutes. Hook. Core argument. Funnel, as I told you, not necessarily needed for a GS subject wise or a technical topic. Alright, time has already begun. So come on, technology cannot replace manpower. It's fairly simple. Last 5 minutes. Hurry up. Come on. Last 2 minutes. Hurry up. Come on. I'll start reading a few. Okay, those ones which I could not read in the previous part. Okay. One of the assistant of Stanislav Petrov came to him and said, "The radar has detected U.S. missile attack from America on USSR." Good. I gave you this yesterday and you're using it. Let's see how you have used this. Stanislav Petrov, in charge of missile system of USSR, decided not to bluntly believe the technological output but used human wisdom to recheck, and nuclear war was averted. Mind blowing. I mean, like my anecdote only, you used it on me. Good job. Okay. Technology has made human life easier, but human assistance is needed to put its best use for humanity. Technology itself is value neutral and it can be channelized to either direction, that is, for welfare of humans or destruction. Apart from wisdom aspect of mankind, the technology for its continuous evolution and advancements also needs humans. However, at present, stats of advancement of artificial intelligence technology replacing humans have come to the fore. Hence, mindfulness and ethical compass are needed to judge its potential. The core argument is little elaborated, little slightly over elaborated, could be written concise, otherwise a very holistic and a balanced core argument. This is a very nice introduction. Okay. Next. Can generative artificial intelligence take away the job of writers and creative artists? Recent technological advancement and launch of new tools like generative AI LLM, which claim to generate new and unique piece of literature, be it prose or poetry. But it must be noted that technologies are limited by the boundaries within which man has made it. The new ideas and innovations are product of technology, be it discovery of gravity by Newton, poetry of Thomas Hockliffe. Technology cannot replace man for innovation and novel ideas. However, if it can certainly ease various tasks to fasten the process and make the manpower which has been the goal of mankind since evolution. Hook is little bit on and off. Core argument is little vague. Okay, can be more detailed. Okay, one more from like I'll read from the online students, which I could not do in the previous one. He asked to Gemini, in bracket Chat GPT, who is the most intelligent person on earth? Gemini answered, man is the most intelligent on earth. Again, he changed the programming of Gemini and asked, who is the intelligent between man and technology? Gemini again answered, man is the most intelligent on earth. Man is a manipulator, innovator, and a creator of astonishing things on earth, and technology is one of it. Man is the father of technology and has capability to use the technology in his favor at the same time against his life. However, man is the ultimate reality for existence and persistence of many technologies. So the hook is very nice. Okay, using Gemini or Chat GPT to reassure that man is the most intelligent being. Core argument started off very nicely but lacks balance. Core argument is impactful. The first half is very, very impactful but lacks balance. Right. So this is about the three. We'll do three more from offline and then begin with which I could not do previously. Yeah. This one? Yeah. No, such a big paragraph. COVID-19 pandemic brought the life to a standstill. Technology of the day, be it WHO's WhatsApp chatbot spreading awareness about COVID etiquette and sanitation and other such technology in tracking case movement have helped in spreading awareness and managing the chaos. Social media too helped for arranging the COVID drugs and hospital beds, etc. Too elaborate, has to be concise, has to be short. However, it is innumerable healthcare workers whom we can call as COVID warriors who stood at the forefront beyond their call of duty to fight against the dreaded pandemic. They gave treatment to patients, took care of geriatric ones, and administered them vaccine to millions of citizens. The added burden here in India was vaccine hesitancy, which, see, after reading it so long, I'll forget if the topic is about COVID-19 or technology cannot replace manpower. Has to be expressed concisely. What happens when you over elaborate is it about technology and manpower or is it about COVID-19? Right? Now, coming to the core argument. However, technology can supplement human efforts in such fights. It is finally humans' willpower and empathy and emotional intelligence that really matter in times of adversity. The technology cannot replace manpower in entirety, At most, it can supplement the human power for holistic progress. Core argument is good, balanced and a good core argument. One more. A factory worker named Sam was working in the factory for over 20 years, and one day when he came to work, he saw the workers were replaced by the robotic hands, and they were efficient in assembling and organizing. The manager was happily observing the things as they panned out. Suddenly, Sam saw the manager and pointing the robot hands said that the designs has flaws and within few minutes be rectified. And within a few minutes, he rectified the flaws, emphasizing that technology can replace manpower, but the way human mind functions and perceive things are not to be replaced. Next core argument: technology has the power to replace the work that are done by humankind. However, the input and intelligence of humans are irreplaceable, and combination of both can do greater good to humans. It's very beautifully written core argument. Hook was little bit of ups and downs were there, but the core argument is very nicely crafted. Now, last one here. In the 1990s, the London Underground decided to replace some of its ticket agents with automatic ticket vending machines. It seemed like a perfect solution. It could work non-stop on all days and all around the clock. However, the plan hit an unexpected snag. The tourists and the elders found it difficult to operate the machines, and complaints piled up. The London Underground had to bring back ticket agents to have human touch, knowledge, and empathy they carry towards the citizens. Very beautifully expressed Hook. Core argument: the machines, though efficient and error proof, cannot substitute human intelligence. Human intelligence written in quotes in day to day interactions. Human intelligence outweighs the artificial intelligence to make the actions and outcomes humane. So, not balanced. It is one sided. Okay, has to be written in a more balanced way. Okay, Hook is good, but core argument is not very well up to the mark. So, this will sort of conclude our introduction. Okay, this will sort of conclude our introduction. One online student has asked how to make transition between hook and funnel and thesis. Sometimes it seems abrupt. Very simple. Let's say you started off with a hook, maximum of 1 to 2 paras, and this is for a technical topic. Oh, sorry, we'll start with the philosophical topic, 1 to 2 paras of philosophical topic. Then, if you written 1 to 2 paragraphs, third para, let's say you have used an anecdotal hook. If you have used the anecdotal hook, I will give you the example of what he used: London Underground subway. Right. So I'll begin the funnel or the thesis statement with as seen above, as a for a transition, or as evident from above, and then continue with my funnel and thesis. But this is for an anecdotal hook. If I have used a descriptive hook, I don't need this transition because I am actually describing the topic. I can just start with my funnel or thesis because I have already described the topic. Here I have given an anecdote, then that's why I can use as seen above or as evident from above. But if it's a descriptive hook, that is also not needed, just continue writing. And if it's an interesting question hook, again, you can write as seen above. Or to further, because it's a, like if it's a question, interesting question hook, you can write further, additionally. Even if you don't write, also not a big issue. But this will give a little bit continuity. Okay. This is more what we will do in body to generate flow. Introduction also you can sort of use it. It all depends on the
the type of hook that you are using, anecdotal hook, descriptive hook, or a question based hook. Alright, so let's go to the body now. Okay, we are completely done with the introduction. Okay, we will go to body. Now, remember here, body is where most of your marks of the essay lies. Okay, introduction will have a set of marks, conclusion will have a set of marks, and body is where most of the questions are going to lie there. So you have to ensure that you create a lot of dimensions in the body. Now first let me talk about, now introduction is over, how do you transition from introduction to body to maintain a flow. This is more important. Okay, transition from hook to thesis will happen almost naturally, almost seamlessly. But first discontinuity which I generally see in the essays is at the first paragraph of body. Introduction is over. When you write the paragraph of the body, there is a first instance where the body will be little lacking. Flow will be broken. So we will see the transition paragraphs first. How do you generate transitions? Now we have two approaches for transition. This is with respect to transitioning into the body. One for philosophical essays and one for technical essays. Now, philosophical essays, remember, in the funnel part, you identify the various aspects, the crux of the essay, and you, when you are brainstorming, you would have generated various dimensions for the essay. Now, for example, knowledge speaks, the wisdom listens. There will be various dimensions of knowledge, there will be various dimensions of wisdom. Here, you have to give context of those things. Context of knowledge or wisdom has to be given here. Now, what exactly do I mean by the context? Now, here you have to give context. What exactly in your own words, or it can be anybody else's also. Now, only in core argument it should be your own opinion. Here, you can quote authors also. What exactly is knowledge? What exactly is wisdom? Textbook definition is not needed. Dictionary definition, text definition. In your own words or in some author's word. If, or you can give some quote also here now as a transition. Same quote. Same with respect to when you realize nothing is lacking. Like what is contentment, what is acceptance. So the crux is there, we have identified the crux, you give the context of the crux. It can be as many words as possible, but not exceeding 5 to 7 lines. Okay, always remember, any paragraph should not exceed 5 to 7 lines. So for a philosophical essay, you have to give the context of the crux, or sometimes if it has keywords like wisdom and knowledge, you can give the context of the keyword. So you can take context of the crux or key words. Now for example, if the topic is like a ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not what the ship is for, here there are no actual keywords here. Here you work on the crux.
right? Here we have to work on the crux. But if the topic is like courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys to success, there you have keywords. Courage to accept, dedication to improve. So what exactly is that courage or dedication? Clear? Very simple. For a technical essay here, or a subject wise essay, define the keywords. Simply, either your own definition or textbook definition, author definition, anywhere. Just define the keywords. For example, artificial intelligence. Define artificial intelligence. Right? Technology cannot replace manpower. Give a definition of technology or dimensions of technology. These days we are surrounded by so many technologies: biotechnology, computer, information and communication technology. So or if it is like capitalism, can capitalism bring inclusive growth? Define capitalism, define inclusive growth. Patriarchy is the least noticed yet most significant structure of social inequality. Define patriarchy here. Either your own definition or any author's definition, any sociologist, anthropologist definition, you can mention now. According to XYZ, they define patriarchy as, according to Niti Aayog, artificial intelligence is so and so. Right? According to World Bank, inclusive growth refers to. Here it can be your one, or it can be any authors or thinkers or theorists. So for a technical essay, it depends on the topic given. If it has any keywords, key values that can be defined, or context of the crux can be given. Whereas for a technical essay, define the keywords that are given. Most of the technical essay will have at least 1 to 2 keywords, at least. So define them. And remember, this should not exceed 5 to 7 lines. The transition paragraph should not exceed 5 to 7 lines. Not more than that. Clear? So I'll recap here. You're done with the thesis. Okay. You're done with the thesis. Next is the transition paragraph. Always written. Always you should write a transition paragraph because that will generate a flow in the essay. And transition paragraph for a philosophical essay should be either the context of the crux of the topic that you have identified in the funnel, or if you have any keywords, you can give context of the keywords. I'm not asking you to define here, I'm asking you to give context. Because for a philosophical essay which is abstract, it's better to give the context. What exactly is courage? Rather than giving the textbook definition, that will seem more organic. For a technical essay, doesn't matter. By-hearted definition which you have done, or create your own definition of what is artificial intelligence then and there, and just define the keywords that are given. Most of the technical essays will have keywords per se. Okay. The exercise for this, we are going to do it when we do the other exercises for body. Today I'll just explain theoretical part. Body exercises will start from tomorrow onwards. So clear about the transition paragraph from introduction. Now comes how to write body. And that brings me to one of the submissions I have. Destroy this approach. Okay. Called as the pestle approach. Now, still many of you are writing, okay, and this is something I'm set out to, sort of destroy. I'm not telling it is wrong. I'm just telling it is not rewarding anymore, and essay should not be written. When there are better ways to do it, why stick to a approach that when nobody knew how to write essay, this was very useful. Just take one topic, start with the political angle of that. Now, for example, which one? When when nothing is lacking, the world belongs to you. I can give one example from polity or some kings. Alexander's example. He conquered the world, he died nothing with nothing because he died at the young age of 32. Then I'll go to economic angle. Right. Contentment, I can give example of Mahatma Gandhi's, which is a Bhudan movement. Gramdan. Bhudan is, I think, Acharya Vinoba Bhave, right? Yeah, Gramdan or Bhudan movement. Next, the social angle. There are like plenty of examples from philanthropy to charity to everything. I can give you technological angle, limiting technology, like that. This is called as a Prestel approach. Same with respect to artificial intelligence. Give some the introduction of artificial intelligence in the political developments. Parliament recently debated about artificial intelligence, blah blah blah. Economically, what is happening because of artificial intelligence. Socially, how artificial intelligence is fueling fake news and propaganda, deep fakes and whatnot. Technological, it is about the technology only, so probably I'll skip this. Environmentally, artificial intelligence will require more electricity. Machines are bigger, so environmental concern. And legal, again, I'll bring in the various aspects of legality and illegality of artificial intelligence. If time and space permits, I'll bring GS4 also. Ethicality of artificial intelligence, or unethicality, or because it is artificial intelligence, instead of legal, I'll directly go with ethics, because legal is sort of covered in polity. And this is something that you should never do, even as a worst case scenario. Because for worst case scenario, also I'm going to teach you to do something better than this. Right? Inspired by this only, but something better than this, which does not seem like a pestle approach, which is not rewarding, which is not rewarding in your essays. Clear? At no cost. Right from test 1 onwards, if you have the habit of writing pestle, I'm going to teach you techniques, how to write arguments, counter arguments, analysis, and then plan B, just in case you cannot write the arguments or counter arguments and the analysis, the descriptive part, which will be much better than writing the pestle part. Okay, so let's go dig deep into the body. Okay, this is my reaction for pestle approach. Aata mazi satakli. Okay, so if you write this on one-on-one feedback, be ready. Okay, now first thing is transition paragraph is done. Now first you have to start with an argument, analysis, or a descriptive statement, right? And substantiation is needed. Okay, so don't take down all this, okay, because we are going to use this only from tomorrow. I'll dictate some things first. Okay, now argument, analysis, and statement you have to derive. From where will you derive this? From? No, before that you would have done something. Brainstorming sheet. Yeah, core argument also you can derive, but core argument also is done in the brainstorming sheet as well. Right? So, argument, analysis, or statement should come from the brainstorming sheet. And listen, the first argument or analysis or the descriptive, whatever style you are writing, should be related with the core argument. The first aspect should be related, start from the core argument, because you already laid down the context there. So it should be inspired by the core argument. So brainstorming plus derivation from core argument should start your essay body after the transition paragraph. And any argument, analysis, or statement you give has to be substantiated. Has to be substantiated. Before I can explain further, take down a formula. Effective expression is equal to argument, analysis or statement, plus substantiation. So there is one formula that I want you to do. First you give the argument or the analysis or the statement, and it has to be substantiated. We discussed this yesterday by discussing the parameters, right? So everything has to be substantiated. That is needed, and that is the need of the hour. Now, why I am giving you this formula? Because what I have seen is there will just be statement after statement without any examples, or there will just be example after example. More commonly, it is just one example, conclusion. This cannot happen. This is not how you effectively express yourself. Since we started the class a little late, I'll extend a little bit. Okay. So, just do not write examples after examples, or just write statement after statement. And there are some people, first half of the body they will just write all the statements, second half of the body all the examples. Do not ask examiner to do match the following. Which statement is which example? Don't do that. Statement, substantiation. Statement, substantiation. Now remember here, if the statement and substantiation are small, that means it can fit in 5 to 7 lines. Write it as a single paragraph. Write it as a single paragraph. If statement is big and substantiation is also of a decent amount, which will exceed more than 7 lines, split it into 2 separate paragraphs. Instead of writing 10, 11 lines, 5 lines, or 6 lines and 5 lines. If both are of concise size, can be finished within 7 to 8 lines, finish it. If it exceeds, you will know. You will know with practice. Split it into 2 paragraphs. Clear? And should you over elaborate or beat around the bush? Has to be written very concisely. Concisely. Okay, so take on below the formula, first point. Yeah. Always focus on effective expression. Always focus on effective expression. Next. If both statement and substantiation, if both statement and substantiation can be accommodated within the same paragraph, do it. If not, full stop and continue. If not, split it into 2 separate paragraphs. Split it into 2 separate paragraphs. Next point. After the transition paragraph, start writing various dimensions of the body. Start writing various dimensions of the body with a special emphasis on core argument. Next point. Special emphasis refers to after the transition paragraph, try and make the first paragraph related to or a derivate of core argument. Underline the last sentence. Derivative of core argument. Full stop and continue. This will ensure good structuring, and a sort of organic flow. Now, why I am saying this is, some people directly after the transition paragraph will bring in a unique dimension or a additional dimension. That is not needed. That will sort of mess up with the structuring of the essay. Remember, arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. We have to do that. So, by using a derivative or something related to the core argument, so that means you can generate a proper structure and most importantly, an organic flow. Something, if you can just get additional dimension or a unique dimension right after the transition paragraph, it will mess up with the structuring, and most importantly, the examiner will be like, from where did this come? Right? So this will be a better. Okay, next point. Always write the body concisely without over elaborating. Always write the body concisely without over elaborating. Next point. Avoid pestle approach. Avoid pestle approach. Next point. Avoid just writing examples after examples. Avoid just writing examples after examples. Next point. For substantiation, whatever, for effective substantiation, use, here, see, HAMSTER-Q. HAMSTER-Q. I will tell you what is HAMSTER-Q. This will be the last topic we will discuss for today's class. Now, HAMSTER-Q is an abbreviation that I have made up for all the possible things that you can use to substantiate your either argument, and if you are writing argument, there will always be a counter argument for that, or your analysis, or just a descriptive statement. Right? So, argument, counter argument included, analysis, or a descriptive statement. So, I have made this analogy. These are the things, either of these things you can use to substantiate. First, H stands for historical reference. Now, for example, the artificial intelligence one. Like same thing about the job losses was also felt during industrial revolution, and those fears were founded to be untrue. Some jobs were lost, but many more jobs were created. So that is a historical reference. A is analogy. A is analogy. Like, for example, not all those who wander are lost. You can give analogies, like of any philosophy that you must have read. Or you can give the analogy of birds. Birds wander around the sky, but they always find their way home. Always find their way home or way back. So, analogy. Next is mythology. M is mythology. So, any mythology, Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any myths, well-known myths, which you can use to properly justify. Okay, substantiation should be properly justified. So, M is mythology. H is historical references, A is analogy, M is mythology. Myths also you can easily use. Essay, as long as it is within the scope of the topic, aram se you can use. And S is statistics. You can give Niti Aayog or World Bank estimates around 25 million jobs will be wiped out because of artificial intelligence by 2030, something like that. Okay, so some statistics also you can use. Next, T, theories or thinkers. Any ethical theories, ethical thinkers, or your optional theories or thinkers, as long as you can explain it, that also you can use to substantiate. And that brings us to the next one. E is examples. Most important, this one, examples.
In theory, should we give passing reference and explanation of the area?
See, if it is a well-known theory like utilitarianism or deontology, passing reference will do. Let's say you're using something from your optional, little bit more detail. You have to take a call whether a common person is well known with this theory or should I add one or two more lines. Okay, that is the judgment call you have to take. If it's a unique theory which nobody has heard of, or even a unique example which nobody has heard of, that time what you can do is one or two lines you have to explain it little further. If it is a well-known example, then or well-known theory or well-known statistics, no need of explaining. That is a call that you have to take. Okay, we are done with R. R is research citations, not very well used, but if you have heard of any research citations or articles, research citations, any reports you have by hearted, anything that you have studied recently, more related to statistics only, but these are research citations. And the last one, Q, is the quotes. Q is the quotes. Any quotes, whether for technological topics or philosophical topics, related quotes you can use to substantiate your arguments, analysis, and statements. Always remember, examples, quotes, statistics, theories, and thinkers are appreciated more. Okay, so that's why I put it in caps. STEQ. Okay, quotes, statistics, theories, and thinkers, examples are appreciated more. Rest of the things you take a call. Okay, first try and find it in S, T, E, and Q. That is statistics, theories or thinkers, examples, or quotes. Just in case you cannot, then go with H, A, M, and R. Right? So this is the HAMSTER-Q technique which we use and work on generating various types of body starting tomorrow. Just take down one note to wrap up the class. If it is a commonly known HAMSTER-Q, if it is a commonly known HAMSTER-Q, no need of detailed explanation. Commonly known HAMSTER-Q, no need of detailed explanation, and you can keep it brief. And you can keep it brief. However, if it's a unique one, explain it in one or two sentences. However, if it's a unique one, explain it in one or two sentences concisely, without over elaborating. Full stop and continue. Take a call based on your judgment. Which one should be explained, which one should not. Okay. Take a call based on judgment. All right. Doubts now for whatever we have covered, either the body part or entire session. If you have any doubts, you can ask. For both. This will apply for both philosophical and technical essays. If you have any doubts, do ask.
No. Okay, try and keep it one. Okay, because what happens is you will run out of examples, and most importantly, run out of word limit and space limit. Right? And any further doubts to ask? Otherwise, we'll begin with body tomorrow. We already began. Tomorrow we'll do small exercises on transition paragraph, and then start with argumentative type of body, then analytical type of body. If time permits, descriptive type of body. That is, descriptive statements will always be plan B here. Our primary focus will be argumentative or expository or analytical type of body. Worst case, nothing works. Description is always there. One argument, one example. One argument and one example. That's all. In the advanced classes, I will tell you if you have any cliched too many examples, how to club them together in the expertise enhancement classes. For now, one argument, one example should be fine. We're done with the class. I'm just taking the doubts and we're almost done. Alright then, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then we'll work on further in the body. Take care and have a great day ahead.